Good afternoon, Western Washington, and happy Monday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next couple days with a windstorm and atmospheric river moving into Western Washington. As you can see, looking at the UW satellite right now, you can see it's partly sunny across Western Washington, some light showers possible throughout the day as our system this morning moves off into Eastern Washington there. Let's take a look at the European model here. You can see we're going to be mostly dry this afternoon, but we have some rain starting to move into the area by early Tuesday morning, and then you can see an atmospheric river moves into the area here all day Tuesday. Into Wednesday there we have this weak low pressure center move into Vancouver Island. That will bring some strong winds across Western Washington early Wednesday morning as the atmospheric river starts to move out of the area there. We should have just some lingering showers by Wednesday afternoon before more systems start to move into the area there by Thursday. So taking a look at the European model here, we're looking at low pressure. Just looking at sea level pressure here across the western United States. You can see this is at 1 p.m. Tuesday. You can see the atmospheric river kind of set up right here along this boundary between high and low pressure. As we go through Tuesday evening, you can see this little area of low pressure move into Vancouver Island and then up into South British Columbia there. And you can see it's going to produce a pressure gradient across Western Washington here, and that pressure rise behind this low as we go into early Wednesday morning is going to bring some strong winds across the area. You can see how that pressure goes from low to higher pretty quick there by Wednesday morning. We'll take a look at that more in a minute here. So this is looking at precipitable water. This is basically the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. And you can see as we go into Tuesday morning how that atmospheric river starts slamming into the area with very moist air aloft. That will bring the snow levels up. That'll bring the temperatures up. We'll take a look at all of that here in a moment. And you can see how that continues all the way through Tuesday night before it starts to push out of the area by Wednesday morning and back to the south. So taking a look here at the European model, this is total rain through 10 p.m. Wednesday, and you can see this is a little bit on the higher end of forecast for this atmospheric river. This is showing basically the entirety of Western Washington here along the I-5 corridor getting 1.5 to 2 inches of rain, up to 2.5 to 3 inches on the Kitsap Peninsula, and then 3 to 5 inches on the coast, with some of the mountains getting 2 to 4 inches of rain as well, as the snow levels will be very high with this system, around 8,000 feet or so, and we'll take a look at that in a moment here. Comparing this to the national blend of models here, a little bit higher resolution, shows lower amounts of rain for Western Washington there, with a pretty dominant rain shadow there across the northern Olympic Peninsula and parts of Whidbey Island, only about 3/4 of an inch of rain in that rain shadow, with the I-5 corridor getting 1 to 1.5 inches, except 1.5 to 2 inches from Olympia southward, 2 to 2.5 inches on the coast, up to 3 inches possible, and then 2 to 5 inches in the mountains as well. So it's reasonable to expect that the actual rain totals will be somewhere between this forecast and the European models. So now let's take a look here at temperatures. This is a really interesting thing with atmospheric rivers. So this is 9 a.m. Tuesday, but as we go through the day, you can see how it starts to warm up on the coast, and then we start to warm up in the lowlands here. By the time we get to 7 p.m. Tuesday, it'll already be dark, but the temperatures will be continuing to increase. You can see that the mountains are above freezing. By 10 p.m. Tuesday, we're all the way up to the mid to upper 50s in parts of the Seattle and Tacoma and Olympia areas there. That temperature increase continues through about midnight Wednesday there, with highs reaching potentially the upper 50s to near 60 across parts of the South and Central Sound there. The mountains are up into the mid 30s, which means that most places will be getting rain with potentially some rain-snow mix, but not very much snow in the mountains with this system. And then as we go through Wednesday, we start to cool back down, but the mountains stay above freezing into early morning Wednesday before it starts to cool back down there. So that will be pretty high snow levels. That'll bring a lot of water down the rivers. Skokomish River there off of Hood Canal there is the only one that looks to be flooding at this point though. So we'll stay updated on that. So it will be an interesting mix of temperatures here, with the highest temperatures on Tuesday occurring very late in the day around midnight. And then the same with Wednesday. High temperatures will be right at midnight before it starts to cool for the rest of the day. So what we talked about earlier was that little low pressure system that was going to move up along the atmospheric river, and as the atmospheric river moves out, that's going to bring a little punch of winds up into Western Washington. So as you can see here, this is peak wind gusts through Wednesday. This is the European model, and this is showing a pretty good punch of winds for the area here, with gusts of about 40 to 45 miles an hour around Olympia there, and then 45 to 50 miles an hour across parts of the Seattle and Tacoma areas up toward Everett. You can see Whidbey Island potentially having a westerly wind surge there with gusts up to 55 to 60 miles an hour, and then 50 plus around Bellingham as well. And then take a look at the coast there, 50 to 60 miles an hour across most of the coast and some areas inland as well. And now if we take a look at this on a higher resolution forecast, this is the NAM model, which did quite well with the previous system. You can see this is showing gusts of 45 to 55 miles an hour across most of western Washington, from Olympia all the way up through Bellingham toward the Canadian border there. And then gusts of 60 to 65 miles an hour possible along the coast, especially the southern coast by Long Beach and Westport there. So this could be a brief but pretty good punch of winds here. Peak winds are expected to be very early morning Wednesday, potentially also late Tuesday night into early Wednesday there. And with all the rain falling and with some trees being weakened by the previous storm a couple of days ago, this could bring some more power outages to parts of western Washington. So stay tuned on that. We'll have another video tomorrow, and we'll take a look at the wind in detail there, as all the high-resolution forecasts will be in range by that point, and I'll also be posting some updates on my social media. Taking a look here into the extended forecast, this is from December 21st to 25th, so that will be this Saturday through Christmas Day, and you can see very high probability of above average temperatures across the majority of the western United States, but you can see that we're also going to be having a high probability of above average precipitation, which means that there are more potentials for atmospheric rivers and high snow levels, which could lead to flooding over the next few days here. So stay tuned. We will continue looking at this. As always, you can follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, and on X. I will be posting updates on all of these over the next couple of days here with these storms moving in. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and then join the Facebook group and follow me on Blue Sky and X. And as always, I will talk to you all tomorrow.